Well, hi and welcome to the Quiraing. Now, I've come here early in the morning, but I've missed sunrise because I don't want a sunrise shot here. I've come when it's really cloudy, there's quite a lot of rain in the air, although it's not raining at the moment, luckily. But what I'm really looking for is a moody shot, probably black and white, of the clouds rolling over the cliffs, either towards the actual Quiraing, which is over here, or down the Trottenish Ridge, which is the classic shot from this location. But I'm not going to shoot the iconic tree, which I have shot in the past. I'll pop a picture up if I remember. But I'm looking for details in this amazing landscape, because you've got this cliff behind the Quiraing which has just got superb textures. So I've set up my camera, fairly simple, 70 to 200 millimeter, to pick out individual details in the landscape. No filters, no nothing. I've put the lens hood on to protect it from the rain. So let's get back to it and see whether the cloud does what I want it to. So the sun did finally break through for a few seconds. but not long enough for me to get any footage of it. I got some stills, but no video, so I'll put the stills up. What I might do at the end of the video is go through a little bit of what I did in Lightroom to make the most of the amazing conditions that I saw and bring out the detail and the light and the cloud and the textures. But I'm going to wait here for a little while before I might head further along the path behind me, although it's not looking hopeful at the moment, so that may be all my shots for the day. We'll see. We might get lucky. Who knows? So, we're back home, in front of the computer. As you can see, I've opened one of the images in Lightroom, and it's got some potential, but I need to make some basic adjustments to bring that potential out and to make it the image that I remember that I took at the time. So the first thing I'm going to do is convert it into black and white. But I will just go into the black and white mix, not that it's going to do a huge amount, but I'll pull the blues down a little bit and the yellows up a little bit. You can see it's not changed a great deal. It's still quite grey and the sky is still a little bit washed out. So I'm just going to do some very basic adjustments to pull the blacks, which are over here, and the whites, which are over here, up to the edges of the histogram at the top here. Now, it's still not looking great, so what I need to do is add some drama to this sky area. So I'm going to choose the gradient filter, pull it down so that it's just covering the sky and just over the land here. I'll see how that affects it, but we might get away with it on this picture. So I'm going to pull the exposure down a little bit just to darken the sky, increase the contrast, and then brighten the highlights and darken the shadows. Now immediately you can see it's added a bit more contrast into that sky, and if I pull the exposure down a little bit more, so I've darkened the sky down a bit by just pulling the exposure down, increasing the contrast and adjusting the highlights and shadows, but it's still a little bit flat. So if I click done on that, now I can adjust these controls again, and now you can see that the highlights, the very whitest areas, are no longer up to the right hand end of the histogram. So I'm going to pull those up so they almost reach the end. Then the highlights, which are these areas here, I'll pull those down so that it just drags a bit more definition into these clouds. I might want to pull the highlights up again just to lift these very brightest areas. And now turning my attention to this area of the land, it's lacking a little bit of contrast, so I'm going to pull the blacks down a little bit more and then lift the shadows just a little bit, just to bring out a little bit of the detail that's in there. Now I think that's looking pretty good, so I might just add a little bit of clarity just to give a sense of sharpness. It's not exactly sharpening, but it just adds to the effect. But you don't want to go too far with your sharpening or your clarity controls, because they can add halos onto the image between dark and light areas. So I've gone for about 12, but I don't want to go much greater than that. And then finally I'm going to bring the darks on the tone curve down and the lights up a little bit, again just to add a little bit of contrast I'll take a look at it. I might just go back to the gradient filter and pull that sky down just a little bit more. Now the gradient has affected this bit of land down here, so if I get the brush and go to erase, I can just lift that little bit of the landscape there. Actually the rest seems okay. Now I think that's pretty much it. So there we have it. That's how I converted this image from a potentially good one into a really dramatic black and white image that brought out all of the tones and the textures that I remembered from the original shoot. Now I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, please join me again when I'll be shooting on Skye or in the Highlands. So take care, and I'll see you later.